All right, today I'm going to show you how to turn your old-fashioned tube-style CRT televisions into a modern smart TV. Well, not exactly that, but close. If you have one of these tube TVs lying around still, they're still usable if you're looking for a spare TV for another room in the house. There is a way to connect modern HDMI streaming devices and video games to older TVs like this. The trick here is to find a way to connect an HDMI device like this Roku streaming stick, although it is a bit older, or maybe a Fire Stick, or an Xbox or PS5, any modern device that uses HDMI output to a TV that does not have an HDMI input. Older TVs at best have these yellow, red, and white RCA composite video plugs, or maybe even just an RF coaxial input. So somehow you have to adapt your HDMI device to connect to the plugs on your older television. And here's the solution. This adapter is known as an HDMI to AV device. And what it does is it accepts an HDMI input from a streaming stick or a video game run through an HDMI cable, and it converts it down to an AV output. So it converts that HDMI to an older RCA style video and audio connection. Now there's also a little selector switch on the side here. This can be used for either NTSC, which is the older analog standard of television that's no longer used in North America ever since the digital conversion, or you can also set this to PAL, which is used in Europe. Now there is a little plug on the side as well to power this adapter, but you don't always have to use this plug to power the adapter. Often the adapter will pick up power through the HDMI device that it's connected to. The connections are nice and simple. First, plug in your HDMI device to the adapter, and then on the other side, you're going to take a set of these yellow, white, and red RCA cables, plug one end of the cable into the adapter, matching up all the colors, and then the other end of the cable, plug it into a set of AV inputs on your TV, again, matching up all the colors, and that's it. One cool feature about this adapter is that it will display this retro color test pattern on the screen when it does not detect an AV signal. But in order to see this, you have to have the device connected by its own power source. So the little tiny USB plug on the side, you're going to plug in a USB cord to that so the device has its own power source. If you connect it through the HDMI video source only, then you're only going to see the test pattern for a brief time while the device boots up. With everything connected and powered up, make sure the TV is switched to the correct AV input setting. You should see the color test pattern, and then your device should start booting up. You can see there's the Roku startup screen. And this is an older Roku device, so this might take a while for it to boot up. All right, here is the Roku home screen. So yay, we have success. We've turned our tube TV into a smart TV. Now keep in mind, this is not going to give you an HD picture. An HDMI device outputs an HD picture, but because it's being down converted to an AV output, that is standard definition at best. However, since you're using a nice clean signal from your HDMI, you should still get a nice clear picture with good color on your CRT. Now, if you have an even older CRT television that only has an RF coaxial input and does not have these composite video RCA plugs, then what you can do is actually add on an RF modulator to this setup. What that does is takes the RCA signal that your adapter has created and converts it to an RF coaxial signal. And all you have to do is plug the RCA cables into the modulator instead of into the TV and run a coax cable from the modulator's output to the input on the TV. And usually these modulators will tune to channel 3 or 4. And then all you have to do is tune your TV to the channel the modulator is set to. And that's another way that you can watch a modern day streaming device on an old TV like this. Well, the Wi-Fi out here in the garage is fast enough to give you a quick demonstration of this thing working. We'll just open up the Roku Live TV guide for a sec here. And there it is. A couple of ways to connect your HDMI streaming device or video game to an old CRT Tube television. If you're looking to buy the HDMI to AV adapter or RF modulator featured in today's video, look in the description for a couple of Amazon affiliate links I have, and by clicking on those links and making a purchase through them, that helps me to earn a small commission on the sale of those products.